The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome to the Steuben County Office for the Aging segment of Frankly Speaking. Steuben County Office for the Aging, committed to maximizing quality of life, safety, and independence. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio, and full disclaimer, you're going to hear a little hum in the background. Across the street, they're doing a little carpet cleaning. But joining me in the studio this morning, Jenniffer Mullen. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
Well, this time you're running for Steuben County Legislature, and everybody can see at the bottom of the screen that's District 13, and that's Caton-Corning Town and Hornby. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you decided to run for legislature.
My background is really focused in community service. I've been a nurse for 17 years, and I started on the town council. We implemented a bunch of transparency, websites, social media, and I had the opportunity last year to step in as supervisor and seeing the growth potential, seeing what we can do for more residents, Caton, Hornby, Town of Corning, outside of where we're at is such an opportunity, and I wanted to step in. As Carol Ferratella is stepping down, it left a wonderful opportunity to step in.
Well, and you started on the town council, then you go to supervisor, and quickly now you're running for legislature. That's fast. That's a fast turnaround. How do you think the time as on the council and as supervisor is going to help you if you are lucky enough to become a legislator?
If I am blessed enough and lucky enough to become a legislator, all of that has been wonderful experience. The council I served on for approximately 6 years.
Has it been that long?
It really has, and it's flown by.
Yeah.
Wow. And I know. And the opportunities that gave of, getting the website started, meeting with people, learning what residents really want, learning how to knock on doors. When I started, I was terrified.
Right.
And now people are calling left and right with, this is what we need. So all of that experience has built up into supervisor, where we've really been able to get great community projects, really have a nice stable budget, and all of that has helped me grow into what I hope will be a successful legislator run.
It's funny, I guess now when I say quick turnaround, it wasn't quick. I can't believe it's been 6 years. But you mentioned the transparency issue, and that's something that we may talk about here with the county in just a moment. But it's kind of interesting. So many people I have that are running for town council or city council, the biggest thing for them is how do you spread the word? How do you get the information out? Because people just don't attend the meetings anymore. Absolutely.
And coming to the meetings, Monday mornings, it's hard. It's hard for some people. I keep a very open, continuous Facebook page, Instagram, but some of my older residents, and I'm not picking on older people, but they don't have it. So I try and leave my cell phone, my email, and allow people to call me, text me, email me, and I try for a fast turnaround to get back to them.
And we're talking about the run for Steuben County Legislator now. What was it that sparked your interest when you said, you know what, I'm going to make that leap?
When I found out Carol Ferratella was stepping down, it just seemed like a natural fit of how can we do more community service? How can we better our community? And I want to really grow on what we have. So I slept on it, stewed on it. And Stuart Samus called me the next morning and said, hey, what are you doing for the next 4 years? So it got the idea churning, and I can't see a better fit as I've stepped down from teaching full-time, and that opened up about 40 to 60 hours. So I've really tried to put that into the town, into the community, and hopefully into growth with the legislator.
One of the things we talk about a lot on this program, because it is a kind of a tedious process, is the petition season.
Absolutely.
So you obviously had to go through the petition season. It seems like it just ended, and now you've got to run, and then the election's right around the corner, or the primary's right around the corner. What did you hear when you were knocking on doors? What were the major concerns?
Finances, and there was also the discussions with Sheriff Allard and what is going on at the legislator, and transparency, communication. The same issue you just discussed is how are you going to let us know what's going on? How do we reach out to you? How do we talk to you? And why you? Those were big topics. it would take me sometimes 30, 45 minutes hearing people. And that's amazing. It's amazing because I've been to doors. People don't want to talk. They'll sign and want to send you on your way.
If you're lucky. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now people really want to hear what's going on, what our thoughts are, and how amazing is that? You know, they're really coming to the political table of this isn't okay or this is what we want.
And I do want to talk about the sheriff in a moment, but you mentioned kind of that transparency in Corning. I think it's interesting because this is no secret. The county was kind of slapped on the wrist a little bit about their lack of transparency in a lot of closed door sessions, executive sessions. Will that be a major concern for you if you win, to take a look at that and see why that has been the case?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't have closed doors. People need to know what's going on. People need to be engaged. And I shouldn't say need to be, but we need to offer that to them. If they want to get involved, I can't encourage that enough.
Right.
Come to, the meetings. Come and let people know what your thoughts are. Because we're representatives. We're
Right.
supposed to be there representing our population.
Absolutely.
So to know that people are getting involved and saying, we want to know more and you need to be more transparent, that is amazing. And that should continue.
Now, I think for me, my experience of taking out petitions this season for other candidates, I'm not running for anything, but the biggest issue I heard, and I would like to hear your opinion on it, is the situation with the sheriff at the county, because that, I think, at the end of the day, is the conversation people are having when it comes to the legislature. So what is your thoughts on what all unfolded?
I think exactly what you just said, the transparency. If there was an issue, people didn't really know what it was.
Right.
They backed themselves in a corner, and now, Sheriff Adler has a very solid argument of this should be paid for. His insurance should be paid for. I don't see why it shouldn't be. They lost the appeal. It's time to let it go. Taking more tax dollars, and putting it into a continued fight, it doesn't help. It doesn't bring any community together. It doesn't heal any wounds. And sometimes we just need to move on.
Right. And we have on this program people that comment, people that comment that aren't even from Steuben County, but I think one of the issues that they kept bringing up time and time again is the sheriff is elected.
Absolutely.
So why are we going after an elected official? Isn't that really up to the voters, right, at the end of the day? So it's been kind of an interesting thing to watch, and I guess in a weird way encouraging to see how many people have been following it at a time when it's tough to get all the local news.
Absolutely.
So that's why I came up so much with petitions. Okay, what issues do you see moving forward if you are a legislator? What would you like to focus on other than the transparency we keep talking about?
Transparency is huge, but what can we do to bring more resources down to our area for Corning, for Caton, for Hornby? We have a huge financial revenue that we're sitting on with the county. How can we better use those funds? Emergency services, healthcare management. What can we do better in our area? We are very rural. And with a background as a nurse, I worry about residents who have 20, 30 minutes before an ambulance comes to them. How can we improve? How can we do better for our local residents in our own local community?
Now, we're talking about petition season, and now it's campaign season. Kind of a shorter time frame. I mean, when you figure everything is official on the ballot to when you actually go vote for primary, it's quick. So how are you going to handle the campaign? How are you going to run your campaign?
I'm going to run my campaign the same way I always have, knocking on doors, talking to people, trying to get my information out there, sending mailers so people know how to contact me. I have an active Facebook page. My cell phone is up. My emails are up. Trying to get the word out. I have amazing friends who have been making phone calls, knocking on doors for me. I'm extremely, extremely blessed. So trying to use that and continuing to move forward and reaching as many people as I can.
At the end of the day, it really is just knocking on doors, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
But it's fun. It's like we were saying with the petition process. It's so interesting to see what people are concerned in, that maybe it's an issue that you weren't even aware of at the county level, and that's their number one concern. It gives you an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to do what's best for the constituents.
Absolutely. And people have been so open. I've had a few people that, don't open the doors and, that I expect. But the people who have, I can't tell you the amount of support I've had moving forward, and that is it just makes my heart happy. It reminds me of why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the Republican primary, so it is coming up very, very quickly. A couple last minute kind of who, what, when, where, and whys. So your goals moving forward, we talked about the issues you see that you'll be facing. What is your goal if you win and after 4 years you look back? What would you have hoped to accomplish?
Better services to our local residents. And bringing people together.
Yeah.
Right now, with the sheriff argument, there's a lot of divide. How can we bring people together and bring growth?
Where can people find out more about you, or if they want to help your campaign? What's the best way to go at that?
I am on Facebook, very active on Facebook. Jenniffer Mullen for Steuben County Legislator.
Okay.
You can find me at Legislator at gmail.com. You can see me driving all around.
Well, we see that in the background.
Right.
I think we'll know it's you when you drive by. Before we go, the final question that we always ask, what would you say to Republican voters before they head into the booth on primary day?
Vote for the best person. I can't say that enough. My record speaks for itself. We've done amazing things with our budget, saving over $100,000 in the first year, putting up parks, playgrounds, community activities. Vote for the person who's going to do the work, and I will absolutely work hard.
Great. I'm sure we'll talk again before primary, but thanks for giving us so much time this morning.
Thank you so much for letting me be on your show.
All right. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking. Stay with us.